Hello everyone, we're back with part 2 of this video for Reincarnation, Law of Karma, chapter 8, the Justice of Reincarnation, because everyone gets their justice eventually, especially the ones that did you wrong. Okay.
Because everything is written in secret, so they're going to get their justice.
Especially if you're the same soul connected.
Think that you're going to get away, but it's secret.
Especially if you're the same soul connected, if you do something wrong to the other half of the soul, then the other half gets it back. Is that right?
Exactly.
That's called polarity, or whatever it's called.
You understand what karma is, but you're still trying to run from it. The secret is on your forehead. Then what you get.
So passing on the third view, namely that the soul is countless others which emanated from the source of being, eon's ego. Equal in power opportunities in which an individual soul has worked its way up to present position through its rebirths and lives, in which has gained many experiences, lessons, which determines the present condition, which turn into profit by experiencing the lessons of the present life, in which next stage of its life will be determined. We find that many have been considered the only logical and possible explanation in problems of life inequalities, providing that there is an answer at all, that not loving is there is such thing as a soul, and loving just God. Figure for French writer that from which we quote a remarkable passage breathing the pessimism of the old view of life. A few moments ago admitted that the rebirth was also found a just explanation of the matter. He says, if on the contrary, we admit that the polarity of human existences and reincarnation, that is the passage of the same soul through several bodies, of all this made wonderfully clear, our presence in such part of the earth have no longer effect of a caprice of fate, or which result of chance. It is merely of the station of long journey that we make them through the world. Before our birth we already lived, and this life is the sequel and result in previous ones. We have a soul that we must purify, improve, and ennoble during the stay upon earth, or having already completed the imperfect of wicked life. We are compelled to begin the new one, thus strive, rise the level of those who have passed on to higher planes. The advocates of reincarnation point that the idea of justice fully carried out in the view of life is as much as what we as determined by we have been, and that we shall be determined by we are now, and that we are constantly urged into the pressure of unfolding spirit and attracted upward by the divine one, under the conception that there is no such thing as a chance of according to law. Ancient Greek philosophers said that once without the doctrine metempsychosis, it is not possible to justify the ways of God. And many of the philosophers and theologians have followed him in thought. If we enjoy, we earned it. If we suffer, we earned it. In both cases, through our own endeavors and efforts, of not chance by reason of merits determinants of the forefathers, nor because of the predestination, nor the election to that fate. Right here. Yeah, right here. It starts if I guess to read all of the ending, there's like 3 pages.
If this be true, when one is given the understanding to historically bear to paint the miseries of life without cursing fate or imputing justice of the divine. And likewise, he is given a incentive towards making the best of his opportunities now, in order to pass to the higher and more satisfactory conditions is future slides. Reincarnationist claims that rewards and punishments are probably awarded only on plane in which the deed or good or bad is committed. Else their nature is changed, their effect is impaired, and their collaterals bearings lost. A writer of the subject has pointed out that This fact in the following words, physical's outrage has to be checked by the inflictions of physical pains and merely by the arousings to eternal regret.
So the emperor is getting judgment.
Honest life finds appropriate consequences is invisible's honor, but one career is too short for a priestess. Balancing of account and meaning of the idea that very good or evil done in each may be requited. Honor where it take place. In reference to this mentions of rewards and penalties, we would say that the very many advanced reincarnationists do not regards the conditions of life as rewards and punishment, but on the contrary look upon them as forming parts of the lessons and the in the gardens of life, to be learned and to be profited by a future's life. We shall speak of this further in our considerations of the questions of karma. The difference is vital and should be closely observed in considering this subject. Before we pass from the considerations of the questions of justice as amplified by reincarnation, we will call our attention to the difference in the views of life and its reward and punishments held by the orthodox theologians and the reincarnationists, respectively. On the one hand, the orthodox theologians hold that for the deeds, good or evil, performed by the man's darings during his short lifetime of a few years, and then performed it under conditions arbitrarily imposed upon him at the birth by his Creator. Man is rewarded or punished by eternity of happiness and misery. Heaven or hell, perhaps the man has lived but 1 or 2 years of reasonable understanding or full resources of talents and has violated certain moral, ethical, or even religious laws, perhaps only the even extent of refusing to believe something that his reasons absolutely refuse to accept. For this, he is doomed to the everlasting sojourn in the place of pain, misery, or punishment, or the states of equivalent thereto. Or on the other hand, he has done that the things that he ought to have done and left undone. Things that he ought not to have done, even though his doing and not doing was made very easy for him to reason of his environments and surroundings, and the crown of the beautiful of his life he had accepted in the Orthodox creed agreed with his fathers. As a matter of fact, of course, that this man is rewarded by the eternity of bliss, happiness, and a joy without end. Try to think of what eternity means. Think of one ions upon ions of times, and on forever. And the poor sinners of the sufferings, exquisite tortures of all times, and the all time to come, without limited respite, without mercy. And all at the same time, the good man is enjoying his blissful state, without limit or end, or satiety. And the time of probation, during which of the two worked out their future fate, was as the grain on sand as compared to the countless universes in space in all eternity, a relation which reduces the span of man's lifetimes to almost absolutely nothing, mathematically considered. Think of this, is this justice? And what on the other hand, from the point of view of the reincarnationist, it's not the measures of cause and effect more equally just. Even if we regard it as a matter of reward and punishment, it could reveal by the way when you see that every infraction of the law is followed by the corresponding effect, and the adherence to the law by the proportionate effect does not do the punishments fit the crime better in this case. the rewards also, and looking at it from the reasonable point of view, devoid from theological bias, which seems to be the best exemplifications of justice of natural law, not to speak to the higher divine justice or cosmic law. Of course, we are not urging these ideas as proofs of reincarnations, for strictly speaking, proof must lie outside of speculations. What ought to be proof belongs to the regions of what is and facts in experience. But nevertheless, while one is considering the matter, it should be viewed from every possible aspect in order to see how to work it out. It is also urged along the lines of the justice of reincarnation to expose to the injustice of the contrary doctrine that there are many cases of little infants who have only a few days or minutes of less life before they pass out of their bodies in death. According to the anti-reincarnation doctrines, these little souls have been freshly created and placed into physical bodies, and then, without having had to taste the experiences of life, are ushered into the higher planes, from there to pass in eternal existence, while other souls have to live out their long lives of earth in order to reach the same higher states. And then, according to the prevailing doctrines, even then they may have earned internal punishments instead of internal bliss. According to this ideas of happiness, fate will be for all to die as infant. Providing we were baptized, some good souls would add, and the death of the infant should be the occasions to the highest rejoicing on the parts of those who love it. But in the spite of the doctrines, human nature does not so act. According to the doctrines of reincarnations, the little baby souls was but pursuing the same path as the rest of the race. It had its past as well as the futures, according to the law and justice. While it is while if the ordinary view the correct, no one will begrudge the infant its happy fate. As though when one have good cause for the complaint as the inequalities of justice of others having to live out long lives of pain, discomfort of miseries for no cause, instead of being once translated into a higher life as was the infant. And the ordinary view be true, then why the need of earth life at all? Why not create a soul and then place them in heavenly realms at once? If it's possible, and proper the some in some cases, why not in all? If the experience is not indispensable, then why impose an on certain souls when all are freshly created and equal in merits and desert? If earthly life has any virtue, then the infant soul is robbed of its right. If early life was no virtue, the adult souls are forced to live a useful existence on earth, running the risk of damnation if they fail, while the infant souls escape this. And is this equalities of opportunities in experience or justice? There would seem to be something wrong with either the facts or the theory. Test the problems with the doctrines of the reincarnations and see how it works it out.
Thank you. Hey, look what I found.
What?
Say Emperor, Judgment, Soulmates, Empress, Lovers, Twin Flames, Chariot, High Priestess.
What do you think chariot is?
To move on. Moving forward. Emperor is under Judgment. Soulmates, Empress, Twin Flame, Lovers, Chariot, High Priestess, which is the intuition that the Empress has. Soulmates, which is between the three of us, and Twin Flame Lovers between the three of us too. Okay everyone, that is the end of chapter 8. We'll start chapter 9 next time, which is the argument of the reincarnation. Or chapter 10. Wait, is it 9? Yeah, chapter 9 next time. Okay everyone, have a good one. Bye-bye. No.